Vampire the Masquerade fans have gotten absolutely screwed over. The TTRPG was great, the 2004 game was great, and it seemed like this series had massive potential, but they completely squandered it. Now that Bloodlines 2's release is right around the corner, the critics are saying it is god-awful, so I'm sure the gamers are going to hate it. It's being described as theater kid slop, and after the $30 day one DLC situation and pre-orders tanking because of that, it seems like they are in for a disaster. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I am so sad to see this happen because this is a game people have been waiting so long for, decades for at this point, and it had a heck of a lot of potential, but it seems that the people on this game didn't really know what to do with it. Over the years, we've heard that it was in development and then it was out of development, and then they restarted development, and now we're getting a puzzle that the pieces do not fit together with. They're crammed together, and Bloodlines 2's reviews are out, and I of course always say do not trust critics, take everything they say with a grain of salt, but they are absolutely annihilating it. Right now it is sitting at a 64 with 21 critic reviews, and I do not think that the user scores are going to be much more positive than that. There are some critics saying, oh, it's pretty good, but the highest scores are 80s, and very quickly you can see where things start to go wrong. Some of the lowest scores are 30s. Games Radar said Bloodlines 2 is the definition of a crying shame. Clumsy writing and flat, repetitive world design expose a handful of good ideas that never take root, while its poor technical quality and unstable performance will render it unplayable for some. The result is a half-baked, blunt-toothed action mystery hybrid that disappoints at every turn. A cobbled-together walking simulator with a dead world and poorly paced linear narrative that's unconvincingly pretending to be an action RPG. This game to me, and apparently to other people, because I also saw some people saying the same, it seems like a Saints Row reboot situation where you've waited so long, you expected it to be good, maybe not the highest level of quality, maybe not, $200 million budget AAA quality, but you expected it to be decent, and then when you finally get it, it's a major disappointment. I saw this thread that highlighted one of the scenes, which I thought was hilarious. Kyle is saying, utterly embarrassing, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is not only giving Saints Row Reboot a run for its money, it killed Volition. Its mind's eye level of unfinished Dragon Age levels of cringe and $60 sensitive, sanitized, theater kid slop. And I'm not going to play this entire clip, but just seeing a little snippet of it tells you, I think, all you need to know about the writing level and also the acting level in this title.
Unsatisfied, the gardener is gone. Your moonflowers are gone, and soon you too will be gone. I will never leave you. You, mine, my love.
It's so dramatic, and it's not even like emotionally impactful or intense dramatic. It seems like fan fiction levels of dramatic, like somebody, cough cough, an activist, got their claws into this game and then said, oh my gosh, we're going to be able to modernize this. This is exactly what people are going to want. And clearly that's not the case. Man, did the first Bloodlines game just capture so many people's attention, and it's so cool and unique, and the TTRPG is so good. But look at these scores for the first one, an 80 critic. I think that that's a little low in my opinion, but the user ratings are an 8.9, definitely up there, really solid. But then when you compare it to the new one, I mean, it is just dreadful, and I don't see a way that this game is actually going to come out and impress people. And just taking, a peek at Game Informer's article, it says it doesn't live up to the modern standards set by other open world RPGs, but it's still a decent vampire experience. After waiting 15 years, decent isn't what people want. Well, really, it's actually 20 years. After waiting that long, decent just doesn't cut the mustard. And we've talked a lot about this game because of the $30 day one DLC. They were going to be paywalling clans, which I know they went back on. They said, we're not going to do that, but I still think it is ridiculous they were going to. In the first place, they thought that they could scam people out of their money, which is just such an insult and really just makes me not even want to buy it day one. But you also have them modernizing this title. The androgynous character designs are absolutely terrible. It does seem that they leaned very heavily into diversifying the mobs and DEI-ifying this game. They really decided to put diversity first, and hey, I'm perfectly fine with there being diversity in video games. Do not get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying I only want normal white people to be in it, but I want unique characters who feel intentional and not like they were just put into the game in order to check off boxes on a checklist, which is the way I certainly feel about it at this point. And it's just so sad that we've gotten such a low level of quality here, and there's tons of gamers saying this looks horrendous. Too bad the setting had massive potential. Another one for the DEI detected list, people pointing and laughing, showing how bad the animations are. Never forget what they took from us. Absolutely pretty women. Harley Quinn as design here. I've always loved this design. The weird and unfinished way characters moved and talked in the trailers was a pretty good early warning flag. These character animations are so bad. This looks awful. Original Bloodlines game looked better 20 years ago. Is this a stop motion movie? Thank God another pre-order I canceled, and that's why I always say do not pre-order, especially when we're talking about a situation like this where people were fans of a game, it became a cult classic, and then 20 years later, they're making a follow-up because it's never the same team, it's never the same writers or voice actors, it's not the same visionaries, it's completely new teams who were not probably able to capture the magic of the original, and they definitely didn't in this case. Look how they massacred my boy. Theater kid slop is exactly their demographic. Legitimately, what did we expect? It looks like Robot Chicken a bit. What is that cartoonishly lunging at his crotch? What the hell? How do you not know how to animate one character carrying another in their arms? Literally every single game that's released this year wasn't even worth playing, which I completely disagree with. Silk Song, Expedition 33, Ninja Gaiden Rangebound, Ninja Gaiden 4, I'm sure is going to be amazing. There's a lot of really fantastic titles that have released, but then you see ones like this that you've been waiting decades for, and it's just so sad. So I will be covering this game again in the future, I'm certain, but right now things are not looking good for this team. We know that pre-orders were canceled en masse because of the DLC situation. I think the people that canceled their pre-orders are deciding to wait until it releases before they purchase a copy, so those numbers aren't good. We're seeing more gameplay. It looks horrendous. Even the critics are saying it's bad, and I have a feeling this is going to be a game that completely and utterly fails. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.